Hello and welcome to your guided reading with me, Becca Handley, for the week starting the 12th of April through to the 18th of April 2021. So we start the week with a new moon in Aries. It's at 3:30 a.m. here in the UK, and it's bringing a lot of positive energy, a lot of powerful energy to help us move forward. So Aries has a dynamic quality to it. It's brave, it's courageous. So these are the kind of energies that we can open up to once we become aware of this new moon in the skies above us. And they can help us by calling on the moon and being open to these energies. They can help us move forward in our life. So if you've been feeling some stuff coming up for you, maybe some fears, maybe a bit of uncertainty about moving forward with a project or just in life in general, that's really normal. But we can really work with these energies at the start of the week to help us to move through that and into the new that's awaiting for us and to help push our projects forward. The flip side of that is that Aries can be a bit aggressive, antagonistic, a bit sort of pushy. So be careful that, particularly if you are an Aries, that those energies are, those kind of qualities are not being amplified. And be mindful of your communication, because sometimes those kind of parts of the moon's energy can make us feel a little bit too much. So it's just something to be mindful of. Anyway, I'm using this pack which I have used before. It's the Flower Therapy cards by Doreen Virtue, and they're a lovely pack of all sorts of beautiful flowers. They really educated me, actually. I didn't know, for example, there was a flower called the wattle until recently, well, until I had this pack, and it was only recently when someone enlightened me to the fact it's an Australian plant. So there we go. So many plants out there. So I'm going to give the cards a shuffle and just spread them out in front of me and see which cards want to come out for this week. I always start, I don't know what card is going to come out. I spread them and I'm drawn to my hand. I let my hands guide me. So let's see what comes out for the start of the week. So here we go. We've got a pink carnation. Here we go. The trust card, and it says you can trust people around you. These are earth angels sent to give you the guidance you seek. So I think the message here is that allow yourself to be supported by the people that you love, and we don't need hordes of people in our life. We don't need to spread our sort of selves thinly through lots and lots of people. I think social media and modern culture can give us the sense of kind of FOMO, that we need to be out at all the parties and having a fabulous time and living the life. And obviously the last year, if you've been in some form of lockdown, has shown you that no one's really having that life, particularly, unless you are obviously in somewhere that is a bit more opened up. But I think we've all been subject to these conditions. And actually what we really need, particularly when the chips are down, are just a few friends around us that we can really trust and really open our hearts to. And it's not that we don't distrust other people, but that kind of vulnerability, that opening is something that is part of our growth, but also having a sort of inner tribe of people that you can turn to and share your dreams and your fears and your hopes. There's something very beautiful in that. So it's about becoming aware of the people who've really got your back and who are there for you for the good times and the not so good times, and reaching out if you need to. This is what we are here to do. It's to support each other and love each other. It's what really makes us truly human, I believe. So this is a message of trust, and it could be also a message of trusting yourself, trusting your heart, trusting your gut instincts. We give way too much significance to our head and our thoughts. A lot of the stuff in our heads is just nonsense, and it can be conditioned belief, and it can be ego fears or ego judgments. So what this card is asking us is to sit in the heart a bit more at the start of the week and trust the inner voice as well. So there we go, carnation. Let's see what's to come out. What's to come out for the middle of the week. Okay, what have we got here? Another pink flower, the hydrangea. First step. And the message here says, breaking down this problem into tiny pieces makes it easier to take the first step. So this card is a little bit of, take the brakes off yourself. Because Aries is so dynamic, you might have found yourself like having quite a bit of energy this month, or maybe not. But if you have felt a bit more sort of, you know, here in the Northern Hemisphere, we have spring, so there's more light, and there's just generally more energy as the earth warms up, and we're all kind of warming up and coming out of hibernation. So it's great to have that new energy, but at the same time, we can get a bit ahead of ourselves, particularly if we start projecting too much into the future. So this card is just saying, chill out a bit. But also if it's something that you haven't even started yet, it might be a little bit of encouragement to take that first step in the direction of the life that you want to live, or bringing the things in. Could be something to do with a new career or something within your career. It might be having a conversation with someone. So I think it's a little bit about breaking the process down and not overwhelming yourself, but there's also a little bit of that Aries courage to take a little step forward and maybe step out of your comfort zone a bit. So there we are, that's the first step, hydrangea. Let's see what wants to come out now. Become the true you, Waratah. Now I want to say that sounds quite Antipodean. So pardon my very bad Australian accent. Actually, my Australian accent's not bad, even if I say so myself, but I will not be doing it on this video today any more than that. If anyone knows anything about the Waratah, I guess I could Google it, but I'm going to leave it for someone else to tell me. So if anyone knows a bit about this plant, I'd love to hear, because it's quite extraordinary looking, isn't it? It's unusual. And the message is, show the world who you really are and what you were born to do. So that's interesting that we've got this quite unusual looking plant. It's almost a little bit sort of alien-like, isn't it? And sometimes we can feel a bit alien-like in our lives. We can feel, particularly if you're one of the more sensitive people or you're kind of creative and we don't fit the mold. And, you know, we've been in a society that for a long time has told us we have to be a certain way. And what's happening at the moment is that there's a kind of great awakening where all of those structures and constructs are being challenged, and rightly so, because that's all they are. You know, we have really wonderful dialogue around sexuality now. We have dialogue about what it means to be a woman, what it means to be black. And these are important conversations for us to be having, because everyone has their own unique path and everyone should be respected to walk that path, and respected no matter what their gender, their sexuality, their colour. So this is a message of acceptance, of accepting you, and it's also about listening to your feelings. And again, we can often be discouraged from feeling in our society. It's about forward, it's about progression, it's about ticking the boxes, but we all came with a different path, and that should be celebrated a lot more than this box ticking society that we often find ourselves in. So it's about listening to your inner guidance again, and believing in yourself. And if you feel a calling on some level, you know, it's probably your soul telling you, particularly if you're bringing something to the world with a message that's helping people or challenging the old, outdated ways. So it's this Aries energy is here to help us have courage, to be brave, to step outside our comfort zone and to show the world who we really are, which is it's a beautiful time now for doing that. We need more people to lead the way and to show that being yourself and being authentic is the most important thing you can do for yourself and the people around you. The more we shine our own individual lights, and what makes you you is completely different to anybody else on this planet, and that's a beautiful thing. So it's about having some acceptance for yourself and allowing people to see the real you. And it doesn't have to happen overnight. It can be a gradual process, but this card is just starting to encourage you to let yourself be seen and allow yourself to be who you were born to do. I'm just going to read this card. It comes with a little message, and I want to read the last little bit here because I think it's quite interesting. They all have a message, but today this one I wanted to read the last, where is it now? The country, here we go. Need my glasses. So it says, we were each born with an important purpose. To uncover it, we only need to look at our natural interests. Our hobbies are often a reflection of our innate drive to complete our life mission. It finishes by saying, remember that God makes no mistakes. And I take this in a kind of bigger, higher power way. So whatever is your higher power, God makes no mistakes. You were born with the perfect emotions, sensitivities, sexuality, beliefs and passions. Please don't judge yourself for who you are. You are a very important and beautiful person. And I think that is such a wonderful message to end this reading on, because we don't often tell ourselves that, and maybe we don't have people around us telling that so much, but the universe loves you just as you are, and you chose to come and be here now with the gifts that you had, and you're a very important part of this planet's evolution. So trust your journey, share your true feelings with others, and be open to the abundant blessings. The more we step into our authenticity, the more we are able to receive all the beautiful things the universe has in store for us. So on that note, I will end my reading today. I wish you a lovely week ahead. Thank you for taking the time to join me, and namaste.